What's up, friends? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope high-frequency conversation about Bitcoin news, world news, alpha fresh and hot off the presses, you name it, we've got it with DeOrganized. I hope that your week has been lovely so far. I hope that you have gotten over the hump. It is Wednesday, so use the beginning of the week and those days that you've got behind you as momentum to push through to the rest of the week. Let's kick some ass. Bitcoin just kind of chopping sideways, is seeming like, it put in a new all-time high yesterday or the day before, and now looking like it's just kind of chopping sideways, liquidating over leveraged players. Let's take a look at the chart and see what we got going on for Bitcoin in this present moment. So it's looking like it is coming in around the 123.3K mark. Getting above the, kind of testing this 21-day moving average, this red line on the 4-hour time frame, just kind of chopping sideways ever since we put in that new all-time high around 126.3K. Let's take a look at the daily candle and see what we see. Okay, so as you can see, kind of put in this new high here on the 6th, which was, I think that was Monday. Then retraced all day yesterday, and then back in the green for the day, up 1.56% in the present moment. So very cool stuff. Let's take a look at that weekly candle as well. Looking like we have an indecision doji candle on our hands. Went up, went down, and now we're just sitting here in the middle. Saw as low as 120.7K, and then, like I said, it's a new all-time high at 126.2. So indecision doji for the moment, on very, very small time frames. The 15 minutes looks like we are above the 200 MA, this yellow line, this 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame, which suggests we might just go a little bit higher. I wonder if this yellow line comes down to test this 800, which is the this purple line here, and it just kind of comes and curves back out, and maybe we see another all-time high. But that's just speculation. This is not financial advice, and always do your own research. Let's move on into the news here. I want to make myself small. All right, there we go. Yeah, let's move on into the news. Talk about what's going on in our ecosystem. That is not my bookmarks. If there's anything that you could count on, it's me not being prepared. So sorry about that. Let me pull up my bookmarks, get straight into this right here. So if you are not following me, definitely follow me at GPSC_STX. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. ET, we have the weekly Pokemon TCG Pocket Tournament in the Stacking DAO Discord. To play, download Pokemon TCG Pocket, get to level 5 to unlock private matches, and then join the Stacking DAO Discord. There are prizes in STSDX up for grabs. Pack your bags and have fun with the most based trainers from the Stacks and broader Bitcoin ecosystem. Let's watch this little AI trailer I made. So I put this little trailer together for this Pokemon tournament. I am the Stacking DAO community manager over there. So get into the Stacking DAO Discord. We have a very based activity schedule where you can, earn STSDX for participating and being active in the Discord, along with different NFTs and stuff like that. If you're interested, jump in there. We have a lot of fun in the weekly screen shares, where we play different Discord games and just have fun as a community. So jump in there. It's real fun, very based. Moving on, like I said, give me a follow at GPSC_STX. Coming from the main Stacks handle, and that is at Stacks. Bitcoin capital markets are a real thing on Stacks. BTC is the asset, STX is the rails. So coming from Stacks developer, that is Dylan from Bitflow. Big shout out to co-founder over there at BitFlow. And you definitely want to follow BitFlow_finance as well. They're getting ready to launch beta testing on their HODL MM. We'll read a little bit about the HODL MM in just a few minutes, but automated DCA on BitFlow, reoccurring buys for BTC, runes, and stablecoins. So you don't have to try to beat the market, you just ride it. Very, very cool. I've reposted this one. It's on my timeline if you want to go check that out. Give Stacks Developer and BitFlow a follow, guys. Again, from the main Stacks handle, important security release for all Stacks node operators. Please update your nodes. For users, no action is needed unless you run a node yourself, in which case you should update. Let's read a little about this. The Stacks core development team has released node version 3.2.002, which includes an important security update. If you operate a Stacks node, please update to version 3.2.002 as soon as possible. No action from users who do not operate nodes is needed. Only the Stacks nodes package needs to be updated, not the signer package, and no state migration is required. So if you are running a Stacks node, go update your versions, guys. And that's coming from Stacks Status there. That is a different handle there that you could go follow to stay in the know about different things with the Stacks network. Coming from Munib Ali, and you can follow him at Munib. Let's see. Stacks started the entire Bitcoin L2 movement and remains the #1 project in the category. I'm bullish about, let's read about this. Okay, so the new market dynamic where Bitcoin treasury companies are hungry for generating BTC yield and coming to Stacks. He made a post about talking to the finance minister of Pakistan earlier this week. So that was really exciting to see. And it sounds like, core contributors to Stacks are remaining bullish on the end of year for Stacks. So I'm curious about which treasury companies these guys have lined up to actually put their BTC treasuries to work on Stacks. After seeing 5,000 BTC deposited on Stacks, we're seeing a clear demand for fully self-custodial SBTC. R&D on this is in full swing and a viable alternative to BitBM. If you do not know about SBTC, it is a one-to-one wrapped Bitcoin asset in the Stacks ecosystem, working on getting decentralized with no federated systems. Self-custodial minting for SBTC is coming with the Satoshi upgrades, so definitely check it out. SBTC is listed on Gate, among a couple different places, and if you want to read up on different metrics, you can find SBTC listed on DeFi Llama as well. So go check it out. Go get you some SBTC. Go check out bitcoinismore.org and put your SBTC to work. Let's go. Dual stacking will add Bitcoin economic power to fast blocks within 2 Bitcoin blocks and put a ton of BTC capital to work as part of the Stacks Satoshi upgrades. Very based. Dual stacking will incentivize people that peg their Bitcoin over. You'll be able to earn Bitcoin on Bitcoin yield, but you'll also be able to get a multiplier on your yield for holding Stacks. So very based. I love the idea of dual stacking, and also native Bitcoin yield on Bitcoin in the Stacks network. So really cool. Excited to see what the Satoshi upgrades bring. Very, very innovative and novel technology here that we have here. Advanced concentrated liquidity dexes in various stages of audits. This accelerates all Bitcoin DeFi on Stacks, swaps, lending, etc. So just like I was speaking of earlier, BitFlow, the guys from BitFlow, Diego and Dylan and the rest of the team are working on the HODL MM, the HODL market maker. It is an acronym. I forget exactly what each letter stands for, but they did make a post, so maybe I'll go find that in a minute and we can, break that down as well. But yeah, advanced concentrated liquidity dexes on the way. Builders starting to work on new use cases around Bitcoin privacy, fast ordinals trading, and new types of stablecoins, etc. I plan to write more about these in detail. So this is interesting. Fast ordinals trading. So maybe being able to trade your ordinals, your Bitcoin NFTs on the Stacks network, fast. We've got Bitcoin privacy and new types of stablecoins. So really, really cool stuff. Nation state Bitcoin adoption. We're seeing Stacks L2 as an infrastructure provider for various government level projects. This is early stage, but very exciting. So just like I said, he made a post earlier about Pakistan and talking to the finance minister of Pakistan. Very cool stuff. New Stacks Labs is fully functional with operational efficiency and 400 million new war chest at the Stacks Endowment. The Stacks Endowment actually has a handle. Maybe we'll go find that as well. After Stacks Mainnet in 2021, the project is now the 5th year of production. It has stood the test of time. When Stacks gains more traction and market power, the entire Bitcoin L2 and BTC5 space benefits. I've never been more bullish on STX. As Bitcoin adoption reaches new levels, the work we're doing becomes critical in bringing Bitcoin to a billion people. Wow. Very nice write-up by the founder of Stacks, Munib himself. So really cool stuff. Go give Munib a follow at Munib. Big shout out to the guys. Again, from the main Stacks handle, that's at Stacks again. BTC holders don't want to lose control of their Bitcoin. Stacks' Satoshi upgrades bring self-custodial SBTC. BTC holders will use Stacks. I love this take. It's pretty crazy to see all of how much we've pushed the space forward, how much innovation is taking place, and getting to talk to all the base founders that are building on Bitcoin via Stacks has been very, very enlightening. So if you are building on Bitcoin via Stacks, you are early. You are front running a lot of big institutional grade companies, and you're a base, Chad. Keep going. Coming from the meme coin account, that is at memecoin STX, Tokyo Vice minted out in under an hour. The first NFT integrated into the memecoin STX app, giving holders multipliers up to 1.3x on their meme staking. Each mint also secured whitelist for the upcoming Drones Wars drop. If you missed the mint, secondary is live on Trigamma. You can check out Trigamma at Trigamma there. That is gamma.io/stacks/collect. Stacks NFTs are heating up. This is just the beginning. So very cool stuff. Big shout out to George and the meme coin team, in their Tokyo Vice mint. Go check out their soft staking platform, meme coin, STX. I forget exactly what link it is to go check out their platform, but give them a follow. George is building all sorts of stuff. That's at memecoin STX on X. Love it. Very cool stuff. I minted, so I got the Statue of Liberty. What did you get? Let me know in the chat. So from the Stacks AI Guild, and that is, you can follow them at Stacks AI Guild. If SIPs were memes, ever wondered what SIPs would look like if they were memes? Let's have some fun with the Bitcoin upgrades. If SIPs were memes, turning Bitcoin upgrades into laughs. So let's see, I'll push this to the top of my timeline if you want to go check it out. That is at GPSE_STX. So SIP 32 improved stacking, manual stacking tracking. It's got the classic Drake meme here. Improved stacking, easy rewards. Beautiful breakdown there in this meme. Memes are the new language. It's how people are communicating nowadays. So I really like this idea. SIP 33 Clarity 4 equals new powers for builders. Clarity 1, write contracts. Clarity 2, build logic. Clarity 3, build logic. Clarity 4, optimize apps. Very cool. Whoever made this, great job. What is this? SIP 34 BTC addresses for Stacks transactions. Use STX address, right? Kind of woke, right? Kind of, on par, right? Build logic, use BTC addresses on Stacks. Build logic again, and then we've got one Bitcoin identity across layers. So like that too. Funny memes here. So SIPs keep builders inspired. So builders here, old chain UX right here, and then SIPs making Bitcoin DeFi smooth and fun. Yeah, whoever made these memes, great job, funny, hilarious. Go follow the Stacks AI Guild. We are working with them very closely. Big shout out to Hero Gamer, Balupik, Nosferatu, 300, the homies. Again from the Stacks AI Guild here. So thanks for the follow back, Mr. President. And you want to give Sam a follow as well. That is at the Liberal Thumb, founder of Let Africa Build. You want to follow Let Africa Build. That is an acronym for LAB Lab. Africa's first Bitcoin development hub and incubator, redefining blockchain education and infrastructure in Africa. Train, incubate, build, solve. I love that. Go check out letafricabuild.com and definitely give Let Africa Build a follow. Big shout out to Sam and everybody that is working to provide opportunities to those looking to build on Bitcoin via Stacks. Love it. Sam's the man. One of the first people that I connected with in this ecosystem when I got here, and he very much is the man. I think that he's a stud. So big shout out to Sam. Coming from the Hermetica account, and that is at HermeticaFi. Bitcoiners meet USDH, fully backed by Bitcoin, earn up to 15% APY from Bitcoin markets. Here's how it works. Let's dive into this, guys. So USDH is the first Bitcoin-backed yield-bearing stablecoin. The delta neutral strategy keeps the peg and removes price exposure. Long Bitcoin position, short on perpetual futures. Okay. The strategy delivered positive yield on 88% of days this year, an average 16% APY paid out to stakers. See her historical yields at app.hermetica.fi/dashboard/APY. Look at that, 88% of the time, right? We're in the positive. You're staking the first Bitcoin-backed stablecoin in existence, native to Bitcoin, and getting up to 25% APY. So an average of 16% APY on your dollars. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. On rare negative funding days, the reserve fund covers short cost, keeping USDH pegged. The peg has stayed within 25 BPS since launch, with zero security incidents. Love it. Swap SIP10 assets or USDC on Ethereum into USDH. Put all your stables on payroll. Love it. If you are not following Hermetica, I don't know what you're doing. Ditch your fiat-backed stables. Get you some stables backed by Bitcoin. Up to 16% APY a day based. Coming from the main Bitflow handle, and that is at Bitflow_finance. Like I said, you guys should definitely be following these guys. Very, very based. Basic AMMs waste your liquidity. They spray capital across the full price range, like watering an entire football field to grow 2 flowers. HODL MM is coming, a precision liquidity engine that only waters the flower bed where real growth, aka trades, happens. Higher yield, less slippage, coming soon to Bitflow. I will push that to the top of my timeline. Like I said, go check it out, guys. The HODL MM is based. I can't wait to do some testing on this. Here we go. Dog Army will buy the entire supply. Dog go to the moon. And they used a Bitflow. This is a chart and analytics from Bitflow, giving you a trend forecast along with different buys and sells that are going on, net fund flow. Some really, really base metrics. Go check out Bitflow, guys. It's the future of Bitcoin capital markets. Coming from the Zest protocol handle, and that's at Zest protocol. Parameter update on Monday, October 13th at 11 a.m. ET. Liquidation threshold on SBTC collateral will move down from 80% to 75%. The Zest protocol risk team continues to monitor liquidity and adjust parameters accordingly. So just wanted to keep you guys in the know about this. The liquidation threshold is getting changed just a little bit, down 5%. So make sure that you're managing your positions. I was reading earlier, and the team is monitoring and making sure nobody's getting liquidated from this type of move. So it's everybody, the users are taken into account. So I just wanted to keep you guys in the know a little bit. Again, from the Zest protocol handle here. So Zest protocol co-founder Tycho, you can give him a follow here. What? There's no way I'm not following Tycho. That's crazy. X be bugging sometimes, guys. X be bugging. I'm definitely following Tycho. There ain't no way. We'll be at Blockworks London from October 13th to the 15th. So Tycho moving from token 2049 in Singapore straight into another one here, grinding. Big shout out to Tycho. I see you, bro. I know that you're grinding hard for this ecosystem, and big shout out to you, bro. Very excited to see what comes from the Digital Asset Summit in London this year. Perfect opportunity to connect and discuss about Bitcoin lending and borrowing and much more. Love it. I am the Zest Protocol community manager as well. We have a based activity there, activity schedule in the Zest Discord. We have the Zest Meme Point Sprint, where you stand the chance to win, a Zest community chest packed full of Rue, Leo, Flat, Nasty, Peggy, SDSDX, a bunch of based SIP10 tokens in our ecosystem. Big shout out to our community founders that are sponsoring the Zest Meme Point Sprint as well. Very based, a lot of fun. We have like weekly screen shares that we did that today. Every Wednesday around noon, 12 p.m. ET. We'll have the screen share where we're kicking back. We're making some content together. We're cooking and staying, ahead of the curve with a base community. We have content contest, find to earn rounds on Fridays, daily rumbles, all sorts of stuff where you can just pack your bags. Get into the Zest Protocol Discord, guys. Coming from the Stacking DAO handle, and that is at Stacking DAO. Some serious STX wells are moving into Stacking DAO. 1.9 million deposited in just a few days across stacking products. If they're stacking with Stacking DAO, why aren't you? Big facts. Look at these buys, or these mints. They minted STX. If you don't know about liquid stacking tokens on Stacking DAO, you can earn up to 10% APY on your bags, your stacks bags, and staying liquid too. So you can swap in and out of STSDX or STSDX BTC while earning 10% APY. It's pretty base. With STSDX, you're able to earn auto compounding yield in STX. And if you're using STSDX BTC, you have daily rewards in SBTC. So you're earning Bitcoin straight to your wallet that you can claim every single day. I think the cycle is about 70 blocks or so. So you should be able to claim it at least once a day. But yeah, look at these buys: $122,000, $152,000, and $1.6 million there too. So pretty based. Like I said, I'm the Stacking DAO community manager, and get into the Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. Here's a meme that was posted. So my job here is done, but you didn't do anything. Whoosh, gone. So when choosing Stacking DAO LSTs or liquid stacking tokens, you don't need to do anything to grow your STX and SBTC stash. All thanks to the immediate and daily stacking yield feature. Very, very based. I'm telling you guys, use the tools that are in this ecosystem. Pack your bags. Very, very fun. We got a couple base chads in the house. I'll bring them up in just a minute. I just want to skim through some of the news here for a minute and just talk about maybe see if anything stands out. So Polymarket traders see an 83% chance for the U.S. government shutdown past October 15th. So another whole week. Crazy. A lot of Bitcoin in Satoshi's wallet. North Dakota aims to issue a stablecoin for bank-to-bank transactions within the U.S. system, following Wyoming. So there's stablecoin there. Wyoming launching their own stable as well. Latest, just like in April, selling pressure in derivatives has eased, signaling renewed bullish momentum for Bitcoin. Looking good. Looks like we took a dip down here and boom, right back to the upside, looking to get into the green with momentum. There we go. Just in, BlackRock and Brevin Howard tokenized funds have launched on Sui Network via KAIO's institutional grade RWA infrastructure, or real world asset infrastructure there. Cool. Gold hit a new all-time high as well within the last few days, so hit over 4K. Gold-backed crypto tokens have surpassed 3 billion in total value. Cool. Polymarket has introduced Bitcoin deposits for its prediction markets. So, damn. Native stable Jupe USD for Solana there. Athena and Jupiter are teaming up to release Jupe USD, Solana's native stablecoin. Upexi, Solana's treasury company, holds 2,018,419 SOL, worth 448.1 million per its latest update. Cool. They hold a lot of soul. They have a lot of conviction. Latest, Tether and Circle topped the list of highest revenue projects in September, followed by Hyperliquid and Pump Fund based on Crypto Rank. Wow. This is another one here that I saw. So new MetaMask launches in-wallet perpetual trading with Hyperliquid, letting users trade perps directly from their wallet. The PerpDex Meta, getting these different smart wallets and all that stuff set up. We have a SIP that's going to be proposed for smart wallet technology and getting that set up. But yeah, perps, decentralized perp trading, very cool. Spot silver hits $49 an ounce for the first time since April 2011. Coinbase expands staking across to New York, covering 46 states in total. And this was another one. This is the one I was kind of scrolling for. So PancakeSwap says it's working with the X team to recover the compromised PancakeSwap account. Users are urged not to click any links or post from it. So if you are following PancakeSwap on X, please do not click links. There are probably drainers in there and you will lose your shirt. Do not lose your shirt. And I think this is the last one I'm going to cover here. So huge 4meme flipped Pump Fund in 24-hour revenue. 4meme is like they do bonding curves, and I think it's on BNB. So 4meme flipped Pump Fund. I'll ask the guys, and I think that's what it is. I think it's bonding curve tokens on BNB for 4meme. And this one too. So the BTC ETFs have seen 7 consecutive days of net inflows. So renewed in investor confidence and bullish sentiment across the timeline. And then over 95% of Bitcoin circulating supply has returned to profit, with BTC breaking above 117K per Glassnode. Cool. Let's bring on the guys. I want to keep them waiting too much longer. So let me stop sharing my screen. And tonight we have Blockface in the house. And we have the legend of Stacks Legends, the Don Draper of Stacks, Jack Bin Switch in the building. What's up, fellas? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
How we living, man? How's this week treating us? Waiting for altcoin season still?
What's that?
Still waiting for altcoin season.
Oh, it is altcoin season though.
The very, very early beginning of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you see how crazy BNB is acting right now, that's classic alt rotation. A few weeks ago, you still had some pretty good activity on Solana, and then it started slightly going towards BNB as soon as Aster kind of came out. And then bam, now you're doing this. And guess what? This is going to last a little while. And then something else is going to get rotated into. That's alt season. I mean, it's not like at euphoric levels yet. That's what I think people like when they think about alt season. That's what they think about. But yeah, if you were one of those guys that got in on one of these BNB memes that no one can pronounce, unless you speak Mandarin, at 5 mil and got out of 300 mil, believe me, you feel like alt season right now. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Large caps are starting to take off a little bit. We'll start to see the mid caps start to move, and then smaller caps. Stacks is sitting around I think last time I looked at it, it was 1.6 billion is the market cap. It's tiny. Tiny. I'm excited to see the liquidity rotate into other ecosystems and kind of seeing. I've seen, we've talked about this a couple times, Jack, where it may not be a traditional crypto cycle where we see everything pump. I'm interested in seeing what actually does well, what actually has solid fundamentals and teams pushing to drive innovation to these different chains. I'm bullish. I'm super bullish on it all right now, but extremely bullish on Stacks.
I think you said a lot, and if you start with, is this cycle good? Do we have any reasonable expectation to believe that this cycle is going to look like any previous cycle? No, and we don't, because it hasn't looked like any previous one so far, right? Nothing about it has been the same. No, none of the characteristics have been the same. Like it's you can say, well, maybe the timing relative to the halving, but even that, like your big institutional push, gold is just like at all-time highs.
Yep.
Like at the end of the day, the financial system, the fiat system, it's kind of breaking right now. It's like people are literally losing faith in it by the day, and that's why gold and Bitcoin are running. So while you do have gold, you have Bitcoin at all-time highs, it still doesn't feel like a normal cycle because it's not. Like retail's not in it. Retail has always been a big part of crypto cycles. Retail's broke. Retail's eating ramen, dude. Retail's eating ramen. Like, what you gonna do? So I think that when it comes to stacks and where it fits in and all of these things is, if you look at Bitcoin and what was the big news for Bitcoin, like some of the biggest news, it was like not just the ETFs but the treasury companies, right? I think the Bitcoin treasury companies, we're going to look back on this time and say, wow, like the Bitcoin treasury companies kind of stole a lot of the thunder that Bitcoin L2s would have had if they had never like come out, right? Like no one building a Bitcoin L2 thought of like a Bitcoin treasury company, and it started happening. And you see Bitcoin treasury companies everywhere. Now they're not that big. You don't hear people talking about them as much. Some even say it might even be a systemic risk to Bitcoin. And I do I think Manib's right. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin treasury companies just kind of start wanting to figure out how to make money with that Bitcoin they actually have. And now I think you see the L2 rotation. And now that is where Stacks has a massive advantage. Because who's been doing this longer? Rootstock? Who already has the most SBTC on chain? Who's already here? We've already got lending protocols. We're already doing things with Bitcoin. We're not talking about like we're going to do this. We're already doing it. So I think our time in that respect's coming. And when you see that happen, what does that do? That prints big green candles. Big green candles are the best marketing. And there you go. I think it probably looks something like that. And that's not to mention the fact that this is a USA-based crypto. That's not to mention the fact that, retail's still not here, etc. There's
Grayscale, Stacks Trust. There's right. A whole list. Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of reasons to be bullish.
Yeah, and seeing like the main Stacks handle, Munib talking about, Bitcoin treasury companies putting their treasuries to work to earn yield, and talking about how like other options like ETH and Solana have that option to earn those APYs by staking their treasuries to earn that APY. So putting it to work, it just makes sense. And it sounds like they have a few treasury companies already locked in. I know that he was talking to the finance minister of Pakistan. That was the latest one. So I think it's interesting. It sounds like they are excited. It looks like they're excited. And I like to see them kind of highlighting things within the ecosystem too. So they're kind of getting, everything set up with the Stacks endowment. We now have that handle set up. We've got that 400 million in Stacks for the war chest to kind of push marketing and to grease the wheels for different partnerships and stuff too. Like, I think we're headed in the right direction. We have been for a while, and it's starting to feel that way.
Yeah. Oh, look, you have to be bullish. Like we're sitting here at a time where we're just in a great position to do stuff. Period. If you're another Bitcoin L2 and you've like started building back during the ordinals, the first like ordinals bull run, you probably don't have a whole lot in the way of money at this point, right? You probably got some teams that have been building there that are like, man, like I need help.
Ouch.
Right? Like, where's the users? Where's the and here we are. We're flush, right? Like we're flush. So that's a big advantage. I think that people are gonna, if they haven't realized that yet, they're going to, soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunities for builders here right now, man. The last day for cohort three, the D grants cohort three was today for applicants to put in their applications. That's huge. There's opportunities for builders.
It's not over. Is what,
Yeah.
4 hours and 9 minutes?
Yeah, you still got some time.
Dude, we're gonna be going to the wire.
Let's go, dude.
I want to show you
Let's
what
go.
we're working on right now. Actually, it's
Let's
something
do
that
it.
started with. We want to make it. I don't want to say it this a bad way. We want to make it so easy to program money that GPSC and Jack can do it.
Let's go. Yes, dude. Make it so easy. Are you
Right?
about to talk about MCP technology, Michael?
Yeah, you know me.
Let's
but
go.
more than that,
Let's go.
because it's not really about the technology, is it?
No, it's about making it easy for me to do it, right?
Work without fun is dead.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that statement?
I agree. You got to have some fun in there to keep things rolling, man. If it gets boring or too dry, people are going to just check out.
Well, here's the reality of it. Like, we could be 2-3 years away from, like, the only thing you can do is things that interest you, because AI is doing everything else. So you better find something.
Well,
better get creative.
If humans have an advantage over AI, it's when they're having fun.
Right.
Perhaps. You know what I mean? The one thing that, I don't know, does AI know how to have fun? Maybe you can use the words, right? But if there's anything unique about humans and that separates us from, like, animals, it's like, why do we think monkeys have intelligence? It's because they can play with each other, not just work.
They can gamify stuff.
How dare you? And you started the Stacks AI Guild, didn't you, GPSC, with others in the community?
Well, I mean, I talked to Hero a little bit about it today during the Zest Town Hall.
Right.
So, as I felt like that was a good, run, like it led me into, this conversation that I'm having with you.
So these are all the members in the Stacks AI Guild. Trip would call it the kids' table in Stacks. We can talk later. Now, there was an opportunity for the Stacks AI Guild, these people here, to actually rise up. Now you can see what I do to keep sane is I've muted everything and I only get information from you guys. That's how I stay sane. So let's see what Hero take me in, or why he needs MCP now. Oh, because he saw one of the people that were kind of friendly competitors with Rootstock get it, and he's like, what the fuck? I want it now.
We need that. We need that here now.
And so he's like, all hands on deck. Right? And he started a group last night.
I love it.
And if you notice the people in the group, you notice a few of these names?
Davik, Adam Hahn, Crypto Dude, Rocky in the Block. We got Bryce. He's pushing this latest SIP. Kai Builder, that's Koa, Dan, all OGs, Kenny Rogers, all of them, everybody.
So I first heard about MCP server like back in February, and I was still learning how to code. And you can see my head here, like, what the fuck is going on? Trying to figure out how this works. What?
What? It works. The facial expressions.
So, what are you talking about? So this is what it looks like. You can't see my face, and that's me when I figure out how it works. So I've been trying to get this shit for a long time. June, I finally got it to work because Aptos, which is like Aptos is kind of like a fork of Libra. They had a MCP server, and I figured out how to get it to work for them. And then when I got to work for them, I'm like, oh,
I can do that.
If I just got it to work for us.
Let's go, dude.
That's what I did here over here, right? And after a few forks, we now have the completed one.
That's forking crazy.
A digital mercenary in the group called ADZ. He's actually someone that I know from the XRP side. And because the world is interoperable, a lot of us in the world really don't care what the name of the thing is. We just want to know what it does so that we can make our Transformers or Captain Planet interoperable Finance 3.0, where all of these things work together and the SBTC flows because it's faster. So that's a story about how the Stacks AI Guild is combining people from other ecosystems to accelerate development through fund-driven development. No money has changed hands. There's no promise of money. We're just doing this.
It's dope. Can we break down exactly what MCP tech, like what does it bring? Like bring it here into Stacks. What can it do?
So when we use an LLM, the LLM was trained on data. Guess how old that data is? Guess how new the Stacks language is, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the LLM doesn't necessarily tell you when it's just bullshitting you. So it'll give you code that looks good. Doesn't really work. Why? Because we have Clarity 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and BTC that's come out with all the new SIP standards that have come out. That is post 2022, which is post when these things were trained. So what MCP allows you to do is teach Neo Kung Fu as Morpheus, your LLM. Does that make sense?
That's sick. Yeah. So it can
teaching clarity to Neo, just like he learned Kung Fu. MCP is like a plug in the back of your brain, and now you have access to all the SIP standards, the clarity book, maybe the audit information from Set Zeus and Friends, so that when we use Lovable, we plug in the MCP server, and now it has, the best, most reliable smart contract language, so that you guys can do Finance 3.0. Because I think the reason that it takes so long for apps to commercialize is because you guys aren't designing the interfaces. Because you know what the market really thinks. You just haven't been able to program money. So what if GPSC and Jack and everyone like you who understands the user were able to go end-to-end from idea, PRD, Lovable, smart contracts, Finance 3.0, commercialization. I'll stop.
Freaking huge. I think that, so Hero, where are you? I want to join the panel. GP, let me up. I don't see you in here, bro. But yes, I think that maybe Hero, are you in the wrong chat? Are you in the wrong night show? Let me try to send this link again. Let me see this link.
So basically, you're creating the bones to allow for like vibe coded apps on Stacks.
We have all of the smart contracts working. We can go to Hero and it's all open source and we can see the testnet. The MCP allows for, imagine like a playbook of the right Finance 3.0 primitives that
so you're there. This needs to be done. Like the AI Guild needs to like put a nice wrapper on this, right? So that you can just be like, hey, check this out. AI Guild built this. Go here, make your app. You make any app you want, man. And then like to really level it up, have it to where they can, the website, everything can all be done. Like you're replacing the front end and the back end. It's just all handled through this one, Stacks AI Guild developed app. It would be so cool.
The people in this room need to be able to go end to end with their applications. Isn't that what AI is for? To help people like you not just make theater. It's nice to make front end theater, but you really want to push out an app that works. And sometimes the window of opportunity is very small.
I like the way that you put that front end theater. Like, it's like you want to be able to bring the user, like the experience you're trying to provide to the users all the way through and through. So
that's what AI is for.
Yeah.
AI isn't supposed to help us, pretend that we're big boys. It's actually to take all of the work that Stacks has done. If Stacks is invested in anything, they've invested in creating clarity, right? If there was one thing that has come out of Stacks, it's clarity. The only problem is it's hard to program money because there is a gulf between what Trip and Davek knows and what we have access to because the LLMs are out of date. How do we give Neo, who's an Neo is like OpenAI, right? And we give Neo clarity, just like Morpheus taught him Kung Fu. That's something I said, Hero.
What's up, Hero?
A hero dropped down.
Oh, he did? What
Yeah.
was it? Was it something? Yeah, it must have been something you said, dude. What'd you say, Michael?
There he is.
Jeez. What's up,
back.
dude?
What's up?
Hero, how are we doing today? Happy Wednesday, man.
Yeah,
Have you had a
great,
good day today, man?
Yeah, great. Just
Awesome.
I love this MCP conversation. I don't know. I get excited because I don't code, but I can realize the impact that it will have through many conversations and learning about it. And no, it's just it's gonna be, it's not gonna be just done by Stacks AI Guild. It's gonna be many different contributors iterating on this sort of open source in an open source way. But someone needs to get it off the ground, right? And that's what sometimes what I can do help the best, like just get the shit done and get it off the ground.
Help delegate and organize, right?
Yeah. And I think in the future, if you realize the current development, a lot of the smart contract or in any hackathon, they run into a lot of troubleshooting, right? You hear like, oh, why doesn't this work or whatever, there's a bug here. So leveraging the MCP server and the AI driven development, you're gonna see a lot less errors, so you don't have to troubleshoot so much. So it makes the development process much faster, the experience much better, and you can 10x your speed of development because it's much more error free. So you can go from idea to the final product much quickly. So I think it's a really powerful thing, and yeah, I think it's just where the future is going. If you don't have MCP, the AI doesn't understand so much. Like it just really helps AI to ingest all the data much better, and when you output those codes, it's gonna be much more precise, error-free. So it's really powerful, and it's unavoidable. Basically, if we don't do it now, it will get done like in a year time. I have no doubt. It's just a matter of when and the urgency of it. And I think I'm just trying to shed some light that yes, there are many efforts that we could be doing, but this one is a really important effort that needs some attention in the ecosystem.
Imagine what the D Grants cohort 4 will look like when people can vibe code their ideas into existence.
Yeah, because currently you can vibe code a website easily, right?
Right.
But when you try to vibe code a smart contract, it's much harder. And some buttons don't work, when you vibe code stuff, like, the links or the button don't function. So hopefully with the MCP, the whole experience is going to be much better and smoother. And you can have a working function smart contract much faster, rather than you have to try and get like someone smart like Rip the Dude in the future. Hopefully, when it's good enough, it has to be by phases, like 1, 2, first, second, third phases. You're not going to be able to have 100% perfectly working MCP out of the gate, like with 100 features. I think it's going to be more like in phases. So maybe phase 1 is like 1 or 2 features. Phase 2 is like you're adding another 5 functions. So it's progressively gets better and better and better through time. So I think that's one thing that I like to highlight. It's not like, oh, here's MCP server is done, and then everybody just don't do anything. It's actually a continuous evolution of making that MCP server having more and more functions and better.
The more being built on Stacks and Bitcoin, the better the MCP server will be. Like it'll continue to get updated and get more references that it can pull from.
Yeah.
All that, right?
It's like a best practices database for the AI to understand. You can think of it.
I mean, you do know that, we all realize, I don't know how much we think about it, that it's just a matter of time before AI is just making more AI, right? Like
Yes.
AI is just going to be making more of itself. It's going to be doing all of the coding, just about, right?
Skynet, crazy.
And so, like, why, while we have this opportunity here, imagine like how many more opportunities there'll be to like utilize stacks and get stacks out there when people can just easily just go from idea to working app and just go, right? And then it's like almost like a shotgun approach. You've just taken like something that used to cost a lot of money and a lot of labor, and you've made it real cheap, and like you're going to make some cool shit happen. And every time you make one of those cool things happen, you've just increased the amount of mind share and attention and traffic and everything right here, right?
Yeah, I think a good benchmark, or maybe, idealistically, if it takes an app from idea to functional product with limited feature 1 week to do, I would hope that under the MCP regime in the future, that app can, takes maybe less than 3 days, or maybe like even in a day, or maybe reduce it down to even an hour. I think the more we can reduce that development time, which must be safe, obviously, but because you are able to feed the MCP with the best practices of audits, therefore, actually, when you produce a small contract, it's already really safe. So I think that's the difference. That you're able to leverage the technology and make it much higher quality smart contract out of the gate. That's my understanding. I'm not a dev, but from hearing everything that's been talked about, that's my conclusion, that the benefits that it can bring is really huge because of so many different things. So if we can bring the development down, the idealization time, imagine having a poly market like in a week. I think the more, we'll create much more number of failures too in the process. But I think the more experiments we have, the better. SocialFi, GameFi ideas, DeFi idea, if that development time can be cut down to like a week or less, I think would be really interesting.
And then here's the real cool part. You have that happening, and on the other end, you have like the AI DAOs, right? That AI BTC dev has been working on, and then like that's your source of liquidity for the ones that the AI DAOs like. You form that around that, because there's going to be investment DAOs, and there's going to be, because some of these things, you're going to have these great ideas, you're going to have these great products made, and they're just going to need a little liquidity. So you're just going to have the easy on ramps of liquidity to go along with it, and you're golden at that point.
Yeah, you can literally launch an AI DAO from X with prompt to DAO. I think that's something that was pretty cool to witness. Was that earlier this year or late last year that was launched? That's pretty cool. You just say, hey, this is what I want to, this is my idea that I want to fund. And then, it could be whatever novel use case that you want to fund. And then people then, mint or buy a little piece of that AI DAO token, and then, move it in the direction that they deem fit via voting, decentralized governance. I think that was pretty cool. Pretty easy to spin up an AI DAO because we have base tools like prompt to DAO.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it, dude. Like, it's if you think about how much money there is in crypto today and how much there has been historically versus how much there's about to be, and then you think about like people are going to be looking for like, how do I take this liquidity and make more money with it, right? And then being able to just to just, like you said, like if we had the poly market of stacks, and it's just like this great prediction market platform with all of these features, all it needs is liquidity, and then you're off to the races, right? And so that could be any app, and there's going to be so much more liquidity that it's huge. This is extremely bullish, extremely bullish. What's needed right now Hero, in terms of this MCP development? What kind of support is needed?
I think currently the first step is getting the right people in the room, which I already started. We have people from Hero System and Stacks Labs developers. We have all the community developer who have experienced MCPs on other ecosystem, which is already built, and they have used it in the hackathon. So Aptos hackathon, BlockFay, actually Rocky sort of mentee called Aiden, very, very talented young man. Yep. He did a hackathon with Aptos MCP server. And then that's, I think, and then we all started talking about it to see how great that is, how much a better development process or hackathon process that was because of that. Therefore, I think the conversation got like a little bit elevated. And I when I listen into the developer conversation, I realized this is just huge and we got to have it. And anyway, from a resource perspective, we got all the right people in place. I think the next step is for us to work with the big guys to see what kind of weight they can put behind developing this. They might not know all the specifications that it's to go into this. I think you mentioned some of the things you want to see, right? From a DGen perspective, Jack. And then what I'm hearing is there could be two customers you can cater this MCP for. One is the developers, the builders, who are into the code. And then the other one is, the stuff that you use, the AI terminal stuff. You are a user. So how do we have that? How can we have something like an agent hustle on Stacks? Right, but in order to achieve to that level, you need all these MCP server in the backend so that it can happen in a really a good user experience. It won't spit out like bad answers and errors, and it can actually carry out actions, in the app. So in order to achieve that level of functionality, we need this MCP too. But my point is that I think different customer group that we might need to design it for. And I think it's useful for the developers who come in, hey, I want this. It's useful to hear the DGen's perspective. And then maybe you start to prioritize what features get into the first version, right? Because you can't get 100 features in the first version. So let's just get 10 into the first version, something like that. So I think we have all the right people. I think if the big guys want to throw some, hackathons or challenges or some even reward to reward this open source hackers, so to speak, why not? I think that would even allow them to have a bit more focus because these people are doing it for free. They're just like forking the MCP server and just making iteration in their own free time because it's fun and it's like a hobby. But if they can, in my opinion, if you really want to focus on this, like if it's important to people socially decide this is important, then putting some money behind it will accelerate the process. If you don't, it will still happen, but it will be slower than you would like.
It would almost be like one easy, low friction way to do this would be zero authority DAO bounties. Right, like this could be its own kind of bounty, and then you just have to worry about the auditing on the back end, right? So
or you can do like a shared pool or something, because I find bounties you only have like limited number of winners. So maybe it's a pool that everybody wins, so they feel like they're like a team. Everybody's working towards the same goal. I don't think that's been done before, but I'm just throwing an idea out there. Like maybe it's like a monthly pool of, okay, if you commit to working on this, every month there will be like $10,000 for whoever contributes. And then that gets distributed depending on how active you've been this month. Therefore, like everybody, and this month is our goal. We want to achieve this, XYZ. So feel free to contribute, jump in and out. But the more you can jump in and spend your time to accelerate that process, the bigger part of the pool reward you can receive. I think that for me, it's an idea that probably worth trying it out, just so that everybody feel like they're working toward the same goal. Everybody's on the same team.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, I think that's probably the next step, is figuring out how to motivate people to work on this, and so that goes, like you say, hand in hand with like making it obvious why this is advantageous to have in the first place and why it's worth funding. You know, cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stacks AI Guild is turning into almost like a productivity enhancer.
I agree.
So, what used to take a lot of time to develop would take much less. So, if you want to come with your website, which GPSC, I know you guys are probably want to do a revamp. Probably takes like before like a week or more or 2 months to do it. If we can do it in like a week, for you. And with this MCP too, if we didn't have AI, it would probably take much longer to develop. So this with everybody who are AI empowered developer, they can do it in much quicker time frame. So I think AI developers are almost like a Doge. Yeah, and they go to different part of the ecosystem, whether it's web development or infrastructure development or whatever toolings, or if you want a Telegram bot, maybe all this stuff can be spun up much quicker because all the devs in the guild are AI empowered, so to speak.
AI empowered is a great catchphrase. I feel like it's a good statement to have for the Stacks AI Guild. I'd write that down. That's a good. I like that statement. AI empowered. A lot of our we've got some this Traves. Travis. Yeah, I said Traves. Challenge accepted. What MCP are we building? So for Stacks, for @Stacks on X, we're building an MCP server for STX. So using Clarity and all that good stuff, right?
Travis, do you have like a Twitter handle? Because if you have, I'll tag you into the.
I'm gonna add him into the group now.
Oh, you have his handle? Oh, awesome.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, all right. That is what's up.
Yeah, dude. I love that we're like speaking about this, and then people outside of the ecosystem are like, done. Let me get involved, right? So big shout out to Travis Thieberge. Travis, thank you for chiming in and getting involved, man. Really excited to see what type of apps come out of these different initiatives like D grants and stuff like that when we have a legitimate MCP server spun up. It sounds like it'll kind of eliminate one of those barriers for entry when it comes to building apps, which will be good for innovation. We might see some new novel technology come out of this after we get this built out. So really cool idea. I dig it. I vibe coded my own website, like the Gigaverse website, and Crypto Dude got involved and helped me with the Stacks authentication flow. Whenever it came down to like connecting a wallet and the actual smart contract stuff. But if I were able to,
exactly. And that's the part, that's the part where in the future, if MCPs are up to scratch, you potentially don't even need Crypto Dude anymore. We all need him to be honest. Like, there will always need some guidance needed, I believe. I think you can't remove human out, but if you used to ask him 100 questions, he spent like 20 hours or more with you on a project. I think that will get reduced down. So because you're able to make a much better smart contract even yourself just to get started. So I think that's the world we're moving towards, and I don't know how long it's gonna take for that to happen. But I know MCP is the first baby step that we must take in order to reach that world where Jack and I and GP, especially Jack and I, even more than that, can build an agent hustle platform.
No, it's great, and again, because you made such a good point. It's going to happen anyway. But like, there's so much of this that's about like there's some things we just need to move quickly with, right? Like there's some things worth just moving fast on, because things are moving fast everywhere right now, and we don't want to be a laggard. You know, we don't want to be lagging behind. You want people to be able to come here and be like, oh, cool, here's this whole new place to play on. Let me start building, right? Let's start having fun, and then like, oh, here's another problem to solve, and let's solve that problem. And
that's my argument for needing the SecP 256 thing, the web authentication in Clarity 4, is that basically you don't need C phrases in order to interact with Stacks blockchain. So you get onboarded, you make your
smart wallet
thing, but you are not creating any C phrase. You are onboarded directly, but your actions are still Stacks transactions. So that functionality, basically, other chains have this for a long time. We are, how long have we heard about smart wallet?
Right.
Probably 2 years, and we have it yet. And in order for that to accelerate that process, we must have I don't say the must have, but there's a workaround to do like preview right now, but it's just not as secure as if you have a native support in Clarity 4 for web authentication. So that's something that we need as well in order not to be lagged behind. But if nobody like advocates for it, it's just gonna get like, there's no fire. Somebody need to light a fire under important stuff, and nobody does it. It won't happen by itself, because all the developers are busy with their own existing workflow already, rightly so, because they got their own priority. But sometimes it is important to bring this discussion to the surface and say, okay, this is really important for onboarding next year, 2026. We want to onboard people, right? So wouldn't it help if when you onboard, you don't need to ask people to make C phrases? I mean, it's just a no-brainer for me.
Right.
Just kind of eliminating one of the barriers for entry, making it easier for people to get started.
You can't be the network that offers people a 2019 experience when everyone else is getting a 2026 experience.
Everybody else they have moved on with a smart contract wallet functionality, account abstraction, all that kind of stuff. We heard about it for many years. Other Ethereum layer 2s have had it for a long time, and we need some of those things in order to help onboarding, I think.
100%.
And MCPs too. Like we Rootstocks already launched it. I'm like, guys, how can somebody Rootstock, who we are friendly sister ecosystem L2, they're smaller than us. They have less apps. They have less people. They have less TVL locked, but they already got the MCP. Aptos have MCP. Sui has MCP actually. When I did a bit of research, I think Rocky is a really smart dude. Everybody should follow Rocky, but he really shed light on how many other chains have this thing. And I think, in the world new era of AI, it just, if you don't build it, like, you're just behind everybody else, and everybody gonna have a much faster development time than us. They just launch maybe 10, 20,000 apps on their chain, whereas we're still like slowly building secure apps, through the old-fashioned way, which, it's okay, but we gotta keep up with the new AI era.
I agree. You got to stay at the cutting edge of technology, right? These are apps secured by Bitcoin. That's a huge narrative. I think that builders should get behind, and I think that we're building in the right direction. But yes, we need to get this MCP server up and running. That way, people can come to Stacks, and it's very easy to bring these ideas to fruition. We got over 100 plus D grants applications for this cohort.
Really?
Imagine what it would. Yeah, dude. Over 100 within the last day or two. A lot of different applications came through.
They tend to come through that the last 5
Yeah.
days.
And we still got like another, 2 or 3 hours to go before, and so who knows who's in crunch time right now and trying to get their application finished up, interested in seeing what the DeGrants cohort 4 looks like with this. Like I said, I mean, it's going to be pretty huge to have this year. And then imagine, we have the wormhole integration where Stacks and SBTC is going multi-chain, right? So imagine linking these MCP servers up to one another and being able to create multi-chain apps, that use SBTC. Insane.
Yeah, and it's really hard to forecast where everything's going to go because things are changing so quickly. But there's a few things you can definitely say we have to do. We have to abstract away difficulty. This has to be easy enough for your mom to use, right? That's everyone else is going that direction. You have to have interoperability. We have to be accessible by everyone, right? We have to be able to interact with as many networks as humanly possible. So anything that you can do to make these things easier and cheaper, and MCP is a step in that direction for sure. You can make, like, if you want to bridge, if I want to bridge from Stacks to Solana, and I just want to be the only person to use it, that's way easier to do, than making a bridge that has to be secure, for like public use, right? Like, so imagine just being able to spin that up. If I didn't have to go to like Ian and be like, hey man, let's make a bridge that we're only going to use to send, STX from here from Stacks to Solana. Where if I could just spin that up and do it, right? And then once I'm there, I'm like, man, I want to make like a multi-asset liquidity pool out of SBTC and Pump and this and that. Just be able to do it, right? Like, we don't know how this all ends, and we don't know what it ultimately looks like. But if we just do the obvious things, it'll illuminate us to what the less obvious things that we need to do are as well. And this is a big step in that direction.
Yeah, we're identifying the stepping stones to bring the innovation here, and the builders and the opportunities are there. You have chances to get funded and get your project bootstrapped. If we make it just a little bit easier for people to build here, that's a huge unlock for innovation on Bitcoin. Building on Bitcoin as base. So I dig it. I really like the way that this conversation kind of steered into MCP from the news, and then talked a little bit about innovation and building on Bitcoin and what type of, you're right, Jack. We don't know where it's going to land. We don't know which direction it's going to end up going, but I know that this is a step in the right direction. So, fellas, we are about at that hour and a half mark, just about 10 minutes off. Any final thoughts, closing frequencies, additions to the conversation? I'm gonna pitch it to you, Hero. Like, what we got going on? Oh, and we got Crypto Dude jumping in here for a moment. Crypto
Maybe
Dude in the building. Yeah, we're talking about MCP and stuff, dude. What's up, dude?
What up? Sorry, I just had this put these headphones on right as intern here. So I missed you're talking about MCP servers for the AI?
Yeah.
We're just wrapping up, but I was just trying to explain how big having an MCP server can potentially drive innovations on Stacks. What do you think? Do you think it's just
massive?
It's a fad, or is it just like, sometimes things just come and go? Do you think it's here to stay, this thing? And do you think Stacks should have this?
It's most definitely probably here to stay, and I would assume, yes, we should have this. It seems like a no-brainer. Like the value add is huge.
How soon do you think we should have it?
Like literally as soon as possible.
Yesterday.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. After talking I'm not the biggest brain in any room, but when I hear other big brains like Crypto Dude, Rocky, his digital mercenary friends explain to me, I can connect the dots, and I just know we just need to double down on this thing.
Yeah,
it's
huge.
We need like a well-written.
So much gains on that, like in terms of builder power. Holy shit, that would be huge.
We need a well-written thesis on it so that I can present. Like, so we'll talk about that in the group hero. But I think, I mean, we got to do what we got to do to make this work, right? And so I think it's a big deal. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, being able to vibe code apps and use the AIs to identify how to approach building an app and all of that stuff. Being able to code the smart contract and use the latest version of Clarity and then reference things that have been built within the Stacks ecosystem. Huge, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like the ability to be able to like construct dynamically a contract and then deploy it all from a chat UI UX would be huge. I mean, just to test net, if nothing else, so you can be like, okay, what's going on here? Tinker with it, call the functions, make sure everything's jiving the way you expect it to. That'd be perfect. An MCP server is basically going to give us kind of I guess you'd say the more optimized interface with the LLM or the AI. We're basically going to have more context. This is, clarity specific, right? That's the main thing we're lacking right now in AI. Dude, nice Lamb of God shirt, by the way. Dude,
thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. You like my Lamb of God shirt? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, sorry, I think you were about to wrap up. I'll just say the final thing. I think, even to now, I told you this on this space, on your space yesterday. It really surprised me, like how far we've come. Like it was just like initial idea of me and 300. I want to learn from 300 what he does. That's it. That was really the seed. But having a really AI focused group now, without funding, we're able to identify because we are on the cutting edge of AI development, these guys. So they're always thinking about that. And then, you have other people who are just a little bit behind, but we're able to transfer that knowledge to say, hey, this is what we need because we are on the cutting edge. We've seen other ecosystems have it. We know it's good. Let's do it, So I think having an AI focus group really is almost like a mirror into the future, or how to call a crucible into the future that you can pull the experience and knowledge out of and say, hey, this is what we need in Stacks. Or even just like for accelerating a website development, as simple as that. So I think that's AI developers, super cool people, just a bunch of random people getting together essentially. But people are here for the right reason, for the right mission. And the same with the AI content people. They are a bunch of talented people all here for the right reason. And I think having those talented together works. And that's why I said today on the tweet, like, I'm not like great at everything, but one thing I'm good at is bringing the right people in the same room and get shit done.
Damn, Skippy, great take, man. Great conversation here. I appreciate you coming through and talking a little bit about what you guys are doing with the Stacks AI Guild and the direction that we're going with building on Bitcoin. So really cool stuff. Thank you, Hero. Jack, any final thoughts, closing frequencies, additions to the conversation? What we got going on in Jack's world, man?
I'm just sitting here thinking about like how much it must have cost to build the first version of Uniswap back then, right? And what it would cost today, and what it would cost today on Stacks, and then what it would cost tomorrow on Stacks with this, if we're able to just make it easy, right? Just through MCP, right? If we could just make it easy, and then you couple that with like how much liquidity is entering crypto. Like you literally are now in a place where it's like, hey, we're going to have crypto in the S&P. We're going to have crypto in people's pensions. We're going to have crypto here. It's so much bigger while the cost of development's going down. That means there's so much more for everyone to prosper, right? And how can you not be bullish on that? So yeah, like this is one of the more bullish things, this discussion. And again, like kudos to Hero for doing what he does and being such an indispensable part of this ecosystem, because this is leverage, right? And it's a matter of applying leverage at the right time, and that's how you win. And so this is super bullish. Like we just have to get moving on this. And just a reminder for everyone to get their D grants in, right?
Yes.
You got till 11:59 Eastern Standard Time to get that in. And yeah, looking forward to seeing, and look, like you said, this is D Grants 3. Wait to see what D Grants 4 is going to be like, and imagine what's like with better tools in place. Like, yeah, it's incredibly bullish.
Badass, dude. Yeah, I think that like I said, man, we're trending in the right direction. The foundation is getting laid for the builders in the future to come build here on Bitcoin via Stacks. I think that it's looking very promising, and as long as we have all of these things addressed in a very solid foundation, which we already do, and we're looking and identifying what else we need to have here for the builders, then we're doing the right thing and doing justice by the ethos, man. Crypto dude, what's up?
Hey, what's up? I had a quick question for Jack, actually, since he's here. And so did Mitchell sent out the email, right, for the SIP31 interim grant, like final steps, right? You know that?
Yeah.
Can you confirm that?
Let me see. Not that, possibly not. I don't think so. Did you get yours?
Yeah, I got an email, and it says it's from Mitchell at stacks.org, and so I'm just trying to make sure it's legit and somebody not phishing me.
Ooh,
No, yeah, just be careful. Why don't you just ping? We'll talk about it off the air. That's easy.
Okay, I figured I'd ask him, but it sounds good. What up?
Yeah, crypto dude. Any final thoughts, dude? Like, what are you building on?
Yeah.
Any shit on the shills? Like, you know how we do, man. Yeah.
Came
Dude,
just in time for the shills.
What's up, dude?
Yes. Boost X. We did find a minor bug because I'm a noob and I accidentally had a typo in there, so my bad. But you know, we're pushing that fix. That should be updated. It was kind of basically borking up people's ability to get their proper balance on when they're looking up their SBTC balance when trying to boost people. So it's my bad. But we'll be applying that fix here soon, and keep just do an update on your download. But aside from that, we're cooking on crypto knots. We did a bunch of skins today. It's looking pretty sick. We've got a lot of things cooking. We're waiting to obviously kind of hear back with these D grants. These are the last hours, the witching hours for the D grant submissions, but we got some grants submitted in the D grants for Cryptonauts and for Dcast, and so we're hoping that we can help expedite the build and get that all rolling. Get a little fuel in there, fuel in the tank for it. So crossing our fingers there. And what else is there? I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
plenty going on.
Pot.
Oh, what's up?
Stackspot base.
Stack.
Oh yeah, Stackspot. Yes, so, can't forget about Stackspot. Sorry, dude. Yeah,
I said to Crypto Dude, I love that idea. I'm gonna jump on and help you with that.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's a commercial idea.
We're making good progress on that, by the way. There's been some good steps made in the last couple of days on that. So
awesome
stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I appreciate you guys coming through and spending some of your most valuable asset with me, which is your time. And dude, it's always a great conversation when you guys come through. Thank you for coming and kick it with me, guys. This show would be very, very much just less interesting if it weren't for you guys coming through and spending some time and talking about what's going on in this ecosystem. So badass. I hope that you guys all have a blessed rest of your night, and yeah, keep kicking ass, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Later, man.
Later.
Oh no, I got Crypto Dude cut off at the wrong time. Oh man, love you, buddy. But yeah, you guys have a good one. I am GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope high-frequency conversation about Bitcoin news, world news, alpha fresh and not off the presses, including very, very based ideas as far as how we can innovate with building on Bitcoin via stacks. You guys be sure to tune into the Let's Go Morning Show at 8:30 a.m. ET Monday through Friday, and catch the DeOrganized Nightly segment Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 or around 7 p.m. ET. Yeah, you guys have a blessed rest of your night. I hope that peace is all around you. I hope that love is surrounding you, and you guys have a very high frequency rest of your night. I will catch you on the flip side. Be sure to follow DeOrganized BTC on X. Go to YouTube and go to DeOrganized Media. Give it a press the subscribe button. Click a couple likes on the different videos and content that we're putting out, and we work hard to keep you in the know. Yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. GP needs a sandwich. Peace.